What's her last name?
Cheatham.
Cheatham. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Good morning, Miss Cynthia Cheatham, please.
Yes, this is she.
Hi, Miss Cheatham. This is Judge Calloway from Davidson County Juvenile Court.
Okay, thank you. Miss Cynthia Cheatham, I'm going to be representing Miss Lydia Hubble. I believe we've faxed in our notice of appearance. I don't know if it's gotten there yet.
Okay, it may have gotten downstairs, but we're in court time. I won't get it probably till tomorrow, but that's fine. She did.
Okay.
She did inform me that you were representing her, and so before I did much else today, I wanted to make sure that you were. I wanted to make sure that you were representing her first and foremost, and then figure out how we need to proceed since you are not here, and I don't want to move forward without her having her attorney here.
And you're on, yes, and I did, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was going to say I did move some things around, and I am prepared to go forward on Wednesday if the court would oblige that.
Okay. Let me ask the attorney, let me tell you who all's in the courtroom as well. We have Mr. Brad Frakes, who represents the father. Both of them are here. Right. And then we also have Ms. Charlena Mack, who is the guardian ad litem for the child. She is also here as well. And let me ask Mr. Frakes and Ms. Mack, do you all have any objection to beginning on Wednesday instead of going forward today?
I do not, Your Honor. However, I would suggest to the court that we somewhat bifurcate the issue pre or mid-trial and have the contempt issue taken up first on Wednesday.
All right. And I don't know if you heard Mr. Frakes, but he's asking if we could do the contempt petition on Wednesday first. And I have no objection to that. All right.
The contempt?
Correct. So I don't know if you know everything that's on there. There are 4 different petitions.
Yes. I mean, I was aware that it was a fairly complex file and that part of it did include contempt. I want to make sure that I'm clear on what it is he wants to go forward on.
I think there are 2 separate criminal contempts. One that your client filed pro se against
Right.
Mr. Guider, and then there's one that her former attorney, Ms. Regular, filed. And I think both of them are criminal contempt cases.
They are, Your Honor. It's my understanding that the second filed by former counsel incorporates the charges in the first filed pro se.
I think that'll be fine, and I do think we have to do those separately from civil proceedings, so that would be fine with me.
Okay, so we will start Wednesday morning at 9 with the contempt.
I believe it's Wednesday at 1, Your Honor. I think that's what it's scheduled for.
I have y'all from 9 until.
I had 9.
We're supposed to spend a half day.
Are you all available at 9?
I have cleared my calendar for the day.
I had all these to be full days.
If it's just at 1, it's going to be problematic for me because I do have to leave early that day as well.
On the 18th?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any cancellations where we could?
I can make it work, Your Honor. It's fine.
I can be available at 9, Your Honor.
All right, awesome. So we'll start Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
And we'll go to what time, Your Honor?
I will have to have a lunch break. Probably we'll start lunch break around 11:45 and come back at 1:15.
Okay.
And then we'll go until 3:30.
Okay. So 9 a.m. till 3:30. So on Wednesday, because we had some witnesses just show up, Your Honor. So if we're just doing the contempt, or at least starting with the contempt portion of it, Wednesday morning you would need witnesses in regards to the contempt
Correct.
matters?
Correct. So Wednesday morning, Ms. Cheatham, if you heard that, we will start with the contempt. So since it's y'all's petition, you'll need all the witnesses as to the contempt for Wednesday morning.
You're no.
Your Honor, that one I did, procedurally, I wasn't exactly sure where the court wanted to start since we were moving this down the road. I am speaking without being able to consult on anything procedural with my client other than, was she okay with striking today and restarting the whole process on Wednesday? And she said okay, so I'm assuming that she's aware that that would have begun with contempt and her witnesses being there and all that.
Okay, so I'll let you all talk a little more about the witnesses and stuff. But just to know that you all that is the petition that we'll start with on Wednesday morning.
And if I may, Your Honor.
And if we have any other issues, if we would either file something giving notice or of that or something. If we've got any procedural quirks that we need dealt with, or we could maybe, perhaps the court will.
And I don't know now that she's gotten it.
But I'm prepared on the contempt, and that's what I understand we'll start with. So.
All right, and then this may be an opportunity now that both Ms. Hubble and Mr. Geider have new counsel, and the three counsel might be able to have some conversations between now and Wednesday as to how to proceed on the contempt, because I imagine there might be. I don't know if there was a witness list done or anything. I don't know as well, and so that might be just an opportunity for you all to talk between now and Wednesday to make sure that we're.
Yes, perhaps the guardian ad litem would like to hear some of Ms. Hubble's, from some of her perceptions on the case and her child and some things that she hasn't heard before. Maybe she'll reach out to me or accept my reaching out to her.
I'm sure she will definitely accept you reaching out to her, but I imagine just from the nature of the case that the guardian ad litem probably has heard all of the concerns of Ms. Hubble. I can probably guarantee that.
Your Honor, if I may.
I don't know if she's heard anything, recent, and I know that Judge Robinson, did decline to include the child on any of the restraints and those kinds of things, and there were some reasons for that.
That's not accurate. The judge did decline to include.
Currently, so. All right. Well,
Okay, hold on just a minute.
Start on Wednesday.
Hold on, Ms. Cheatham. They got some other. They're both. The other attorneys are standing.
Called into court in my other matter in circuit down here.
Okay, can we do this really, really quickly?
I have subpoenas issued for 3 witnesses on the 18th, which due to the procedural change, I'm going to continue those to the 25th with the court's permission.
That'd be fine with me.
I couldn't do that.
He said his subpoenas for his witnesses, he will move those to the 25th so that we can do the other one first.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, and then Ms. Mack is.
I'm really concerned, Your Honor, about getting another day, or.
We'll get it on Wednesday. She's got to go. We'll work on it on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then,
right.
and also, I did hear this morning, Ms. Cheatham, your client's pro se motion to have the guardian withdrawn, and I denied that motion.
Okay.
And I also need to clear up one quick thing, one matter. We heard testimony on this case in May of this year on 2 different days, and I may have misunderstood, and the attorney said something different to me this morning that I was not aware of. For my purposes, and according to my notes, that testimony was only as to a limited information about whether the child should be allowed to testify or not, and I have not started any of the modification testimony. So I denied that.
Okay, great.
I didn't allow a child to testify. I ruled that the child cannot testify, and we did some other preliminary issues at that time. But from my recollection, and when I went back and reviewed the notes, I had not started the actual trial of any of these petitions, and so we would be starting.
You letting me know that, Your Honor. I'm getting ready to get scolded.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. And I'm also going to tell your client that she's not allowed to file anything without her attorney. Just to let you know that as well. Okay, we'll see you on Wednesday. All right, bye-bye. All right, so now that you do have an attorney, once again, you will not be allowed to file pro se motions. Anything on the case that needs to be filed must be filed through your attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes, and what about, I'm really concerned that Judy Billings has not when the days she's shown up, she wasn't allowed to testify, and when she's.
We will address all of those issues on Wednesday.
Well, she needs to be here Wednesday.
You will talk to your attorney between now and Wednesday, and you all will figure out how to make sure that your attorney will, that's an attorney's function, and they will make sure that you figure out correctly how to get her here. All right, well,
You
we'll see
told her to be here
everybody.
today, so.
We'll see everybody on Wednesday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you all.
Brad, I'd like to show you some things that you haven't seen.
Your Honor, and then therein lies my big concern.
Let Mr. Franks handle, Ms.
You'll need to
Guider,
have-
I got
you'll need
nothing to do
have
with
Ms. Cheatham
that.
contact me, ma'am. You've got an attorney now.
I'm gonna leave all this out. Right to it, so I know what I'm doing. Is that okay? So they're not in it?
You want to review this stuff while you're waiting for Wednesday?
No, ma'am, that's not proper. Please have Ms. Cheatham contact me and I'll discuss it with her. Thank you, sir.
That's the order of the court.